Good evening, welcome to Leicester Fan TV. It's Monday night, it's 7:30, it's Bank Holiday Monday. My name's Phil. If you're watching this live, I hope you're watching this live because things will change. We just can't plan. We've just had to change the whole stream from the one that was set up earlier. Completely different topic because it looks like it's about to be announced. I'm literally, while we're checking here, I am seeing if it has been announced. Sky Sports are reporting it. It's generally out there. I think it is happening. And I think it's a good call. So the question is tonight in this show is, can they save us? Dean Smith, Craig Shakespeare, John Terry. Can they save us? I'm going to literally having to make this up with you guys as we go along. I think they can do it. I think it's probably out of the mess, total mess that this season is. I actually think it's probably a great combination. I want your views. I want your comments in tonight's Fan Zone show. Get them in now. We are totally live. Let's see what happens in the next...
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everard's, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie & Co. Estate Agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, welcome to Leicester Fan TV. We are literally doing this on the hoof. Spent all morning on an Easter bank holiday setting up a show. We're going to talk about great escapes. We're going to talk about how we're going to do it, fans' ideas. Forget that because it looks like, as we say, the breaking news is that Dean Smith, Craig Shakespeare, John Terry are going to be the team to take over. I think out of the mess, and it is a mess this season, actually, it could be really, really good. Doesn't matter what I think, it's about what you think in the next half an hour. I've put the link out there. If you do want to come on and give us your video views, I have put it out there in the comments, so it is there. But I want to get as many of your views on there as possible. Richie, good evening. Richie says, I'm glad that Dean Smith, John Terry, Craig Shakespeare to keep LCFC. Tell me why. I'll tell you why I think in a minute, but I'll tell you why I think it is better than Jesse Marsh. I agree, Craig. I think it is better than Jesse Marsh because here's number one reason why I think it works. 8 games. My understanding is it's 8 games. Perfect. Who knows where we're going to be next season? If you're in the Championship, maybe they're right. Maybe they're the wrong people for it. But 8 games, that's what we're talking about. Just get the job done, says Graham Ball. Mick Paget is there. He says, good evening, Stevie Linux. If Stevie Linux is watching and wants to click on, come and give us his views, that would be absolutely perfect. Rob says here, far better option than Jesse Marsh. Glad we held out for now. I agree. I didn't really want Jesse Marsh anyway. I'm being honest. I didn't know what he brought to the table for us. Don't forget, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Give us your video views. Click on that if you want to come and give us your views. I know Nick Moore's there, Tyler's there, Ross is there, Reedy's there. There's people waiting to give us their views, but I will get them in. It's going to be quick. Andy, but I want to get as many of your views, you watching. I bet the players are crappy with John Terry there. He's a winner, Andy. John Terry is a winner. If we stay up, he'll probably sneak into a Leicester shirt and run on the pitch. Claim it was all him who's done it. But listen, John Terry's a winner. He's a defensive legend. Yes, please, John Terry, give us some defensive tips in there. Terry, yeah, Rennie says maybe Terry will help the defenders. Of course he will. He's a big defender. He knows what to do in there. They have to keep us up, don't they? Yes, Bubba. Of course, that's the aim. And we're going to talk about how they're going to do that in a minute. But let's hope that it is in there. Mick says, I'd take them over Marsh or Allardyce. Absolutely, Mick. I'm 100% with you on there. Suka says, yes, they can come and save Leicester City immediately. Look at us all. We're going, this is it. Fair play to Adam Sadler and Mike Stowell. They didn't want to do that. That's not their job. They want to be coaches there. And hopefully, they can carry on at Leicester. But like Andrew says here, the players need a big kick up the backside. They do. Do you think John Terry's going to do that? Yes. Do you think Dean Smith is going to do that? Yes. Do you think Craig Shakespeare's going to? Yes, he is. They're all going to do it. Top has to take some responsibility, and manager should have been straight in after Rodgers was sacked. However, I'm backing the lads. LCFC Gray, you're 100% right. It's been an absolutely shower of whatever you want to insert word there with how we sacked Rodgers and got no idea. But it does look like, just to reiterate, that Craig Shakespeare, John Terry and Dean Smith are going to be the boys to take us over. And to be fair, they've been there, seen there and done it to an extent, all three of them. Shakey knows the club inside out. Shakey knows the club. He knows us. He knows you. He knows me. He knows us. He knows what we want. He's got the club at heart. Andy says, I think they'll take no prisoners. I agree. They won't. Let's let them get in there and sort it. This week's a free hit because Man City, let's be honest, none of us really are expecting much from that. Jason says, good evening, lads. Just driving back from Banbury and hearing the news. I'm still waiting. If anybody, I've told people to come in and tell me if I'm literally looking on my phone now to see if the club have announced it. Sky Sports are announcing it, and Sky Sports don't say things like that. They've called it already and said it's happening. It's just pen on paper stuff. I'm reading a couple of comments. Mick says, better than two clowns being charged for the last two games. Mick, I don't want to hear that because Adam Sadler and Mike Stow, to be fair, they didn't want to be it. They're not managers. If they wanted to be managers, they'd gone off and got it. Keep getting your comments in there. Adam says, great appointment, and they'll drop players with attitude. Problems, Shaky, been here before, great choice in there. Now, listen, I want as many of your views. I'm going to keep getting them on screen, but I'm going to allow people to burst in and say their thoughts very quickly. Nick Moore, I'm going to add you in first. Nick, welcome.
Evening, Phil.
Go on then, what's your take on it?
I think it's the best we can hope for, to be fair. Like you sort of said, Shaky knows the club, knows most of the players, some of the players anyway. He knows Vardy and all that lot because he's worked with him. Terry will give him a kick up the arse because obviously that's his character. And Dean Smith's kind of an old school sort of manager. I think it ticks all the boxes. Whether we can stay up, that's a different question. But I think it's best what we can hope for. I'd rather have those guys than Marsh.
Yeah, Tom says here, back the team, get behind Dean Smith and the new team that's coming in, Nick.
Yeah. I mean, they no disrespect to Stowell and Sadler, but, they're not managers, they're coaches. So you realistically, we couldn't have really expected anything from these last two games anyway. But
yeah, absolutely.
So,
Nick, you're going to back Dean Smith, you're going to back John Terry, you're going to back Craig Shakespeare, you're going to back the lads.
Well, I'll back the lads anyway. But as I say, it's the best we can hope for under the circumstances we're under. I'm just a little bit annoyed at the club it's took this long.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. I think at the end of the season, Nick, there's a massive debate to be had about what a shower of shite it's been this season for multiple reasons. But Nick, thanks for your views. I'm sorry I'm going to have to let you go.
No, that's cool.
Great to come on. If you want to be like Nick and come on, we are live. We want your views. Please do me a favour as well. Like, share the video. That would be absolutely brilliant, please. Steve says, no doubt we'll survive relegation, but the game against Man City, I have a very big doubt for us to win. Of course, Stephen, listen, it is genuinely a free hit. The lads can come in and take on Leicester City, get to know it. All I want to see on Saturday is a bit of determination, a bit of grit, a bit of fight. Let's add Ross in very quickly. Ross, thanks for joining us. You're out and about. Ross, what's your take on the breaking news that is that Dean Smith is to take over?
Personally, I wanted Agent Rafa, but as I say, we've got to give him a chance and see what they can do. Obviously, you just said then, Shakespeare knows the club inside out from his time with Pearson and being the manager himself. So we'll have to see what happens. And obviously, John Terry coming in. I mean, it's a bit weird saying John Terry coming to Leicester. It's a strange one, but it's one of them things. And hopefully, something can happen. You never know. People say about a free hit Saturday, but a new manager sometimes can kick up the backside. And imagine if we got a result at Man City, like 7 years ago when we beat Man City to determine if we're going to win league or not. Could this be the start of where, could Leicester survive if we beat Man City?
Sean says here, Ross, Sean says here, this is all we've got. It's us against the world again. Let's hope there's a change in mentality. That's how I suddenly feel. I suddenly feel really G'd up and like, come on, 8 games, give it a go. Because Jesse Marsh was going to come in and wants to do 2-3 years. I just think it's an 8-game shootout now, isn't it, Ross?
It is 100%. 8 cup finals. Obviously, again, people talk about a free, and hopefully we could get a result. Imagine that first game they come in. Dean Smith, obviously Shakespeare, and all 3 of them, and we get a result against Man City. Can you imagine? Let's take it. Let's give our absolute best. If we lose 3-0, as long as we play well, we give it our shot. So let's just see what happens. Obviously, give him a chance to see what he can do. If we go down, we go down. It's one of them things. So yeah, that's my take on it. Also, apparently, according to comments, the contracts have been signed. Apparently,
fantastic.
According
fantastic.
to Jack,
I mean,
put it in the chat.
Fantastic. I'm just going to double check that. I'm scrolling through, seeing if it's been done in there. So, Ross, thanks a lot for your comments tonight. Appreciate it.
All right.
That's Ross. He's out. He's either taking the dog for a walk, he told me, or he's dogging. I'm not quite sure, but Ross, it could be either. You never know, mate. Let's get loads of your comments on here before we get Tyre on and then Reedy. Don't forget, if you want to come on and give us your views, you can click on that link and give us to them. Smith and Shakespeare and Terry, I hope they can pull it off. The Great Escape Part 2. I'm going to go through the fixture list with you in a minute, and you're going to see why we can do it. Not eight must-win games against Leeds, Everton, Wolves. Well, I don't include the... Well, we'll go through it, Mark, in a minute. We'll go through that. Shakey got us a result against Seville, says Chris Wall in there. Rob Dorset saying it's signed now. Sky Sports reported it just about an hour ago. So, yeah, I think it is definitely, everybody's saying it's done. So keep getting your comments in there and keep letting us know what you think in there. I'm going to put up on screen in a minute the remaining fixtures, and we're going to work out who and why we're going to get through this. I'm going to add Reedy in straight away, and then Tom, Tyre. Reedy, let's get your take on it.
I'd say I'm happier than a lot of the manager choices we had. Obviously, March looked like he was basically done deal a few days ago. Now, I'm glad that we've changed up and gone for just the 8 games. I said that from the beginning. There's no point bringing long term until we know what league we're in at the end of the season. And for me, I'm happy about 2 of them. I'm just not too sure on Dean Smith, which is just my take on it. I'm just not too...
Well, the thing is, Reedy, Shakey's not a manager, as we've sort of seen that. He is an assistant. John Terry, I think one day John Terry will be a manager. He's had some ups and downs, but he's been an assistant, and really he's been with Dean Smith at Villa, and Shakey's been with Dean Smith, I think, over at Norwich. Listen, it's not the world-breaking appointment we wanted at Leicester, but actually, I think, Reedy, there is some bite and fight out of it. I don't expect.
I'm not denying that.
There's
definitely fight there, and I'm glad that we've brought in that sort of team than bringing in somebody for long term. And I think this is the perfect thing we need. Someone like Shakey again. He knows the club. He got his results while I think when Ranieri got sacked, he came in and did a few bits before we got a new manager in, and then Terry. I think you can't go wrong with someone like that. Defensive coach. Can't be worse than Colo Torre. So,
like Craig says here, you've got a tactician, you've got a man manager, and you've got an enforcer.
Mm-hmm.
Craig, tell us which way round you see that. But obviously, you've got three fairly no nonsense people in there. John Terry will not take nonsense. Dean Smith won't take nonsense. Craig Shakespeare won't. I think that's what the club needs. It feels like up at Seagrave, it's been pampered, playing polo. A game of cards. I don't know what's been going on.
You need that guy
at the holiday camp up there.
You need somebody who just gets into them, even if they aren't playing the best. Like say, Roger's probably just putting an arm around and saying he'll be all right for next game. Whereas you need someone who just shoot themselves in the foot really when they're doing bad in the game. But for me now, it's not even looking at Man City. It's about going to the Wolves game. You've got 2 weeks now to prepare. You've got 2 weeks now to get something sorted.
Yeah, indeed, Reedy, I'm going to let you go just for now. Adam says here, somebody knows how to defend. Someone knows that the club and the eyes of a manager, what's to lose. And I think that's what it is. What's to lose, Reedy?
Sorry?
Thank you, Reedy. Leaving it on a high. Let you go. Reedy. He's always on Planet Cuckoo Land, bless him. Tom's going to come in very shortly, and then we've still got Tyler to come in here. I want to get Tom's views in. Keep getting your comments in there. Hardman Terry, just a job. I agree, LCFC Gray. I absolutely agree. We need to install some grit in there. Saturday was a real low for me as a fan. I'm sure it was for you. Just let's go down having a go. If we're going to go down, when we got relegated to League One in 2008, we just didn't really have a go. I've seen us be relegated before in my life, and I'm sure I'll see it again in the future. It might be very, very soon. I hope not. But if we go down, I want to see us fighting. I really want to see us fighting. Adam says stats mean nothing. Let's get behind the lads and back Dino. I'm going to have Tom in there. And Tom, my first question to you, welcome to the show, is this is ground level start. There's 8 games left. Dean Smith, Terry, Shakey, what's your take on it?
It's a mini league now. It's a mini season. We start again. Would it have been better them coming before the Villa and the Bournemouth game? Definitely, because I feel sorry for Sadler and I feel sorry for Mike Stout. They both were hung out to dry and had no clue what they were doing, and they just tried to set the team up they could. Do I feel a bit optimistic with signing Dean Smith? Look, he's not a world beater, but he's been in the Premier League. He did it at Villa for good enough, and gave them a good foothold before he lost his best player to Manchester City, and he went off the edge of a cliff. And that says to me that he can get the best out of players. He got the best out of Jack Grealish. Now, if you can get him out of him, he can probably get the best out of Maddison, hopefully. The tactician side of it, I don't think he's a great tactician. I'm not going to say I think he is, but I think he's a great man manager. And I think he'll know how to rally the troops in this kind of scenario. And I think he'll know how to get some of the players ticking again, hopefully. We're talking about the players we need to tick. We need Ndidi ticking again. But it will go back to basics. And I think generally what we need to do is go back to basic formation, a basic way of playing football, but be involved, get the ball forward as quick as you can to Bardi, get the ball quick forward you can to Barnes, Daka, whoever plays up front. Just get the ball in behind. Don't muck around with it, passing it. We're not going to pass the ball because that's what Dean Smith's team don't do. They set up solid and then they go forward. For me, the biggest one, the signing though, will be Craig Shakespeare coming back to the club. He'll have that little bit of knowledge of some of the players still here. And for me, big one, John Terry. And people, as I said, John B. for Leicester, big one, say him for me will hopefully bring in some of the dark arts. We're too nicey. We need John Terry say to these centre halves, look, if they come up for corners, stand on his toes. Make him uncomfortable on the back of the Achilles heel, just a little straight to the old studs. Oh, go down. We're winning 2-1 with 5 minutes to go. If he catches you, go down. Bournemouth were doing it brilliantly at the weekend. Every time they got touched, go down, waste another 2 to 3 minutes and kill the game off. We don't do it. We get it down, get back up, continue. We've got to start getting a bit dark arts and getting a bit dirty with some of the other teams because at the moment we're getting left behind. And I really do feel it's not a bad appointment. Rafa Benitez was another one. It'd been an interesting appointment. But I think we don't know his backroom staff would have come with him. I feel this backroom staff's probably going to give us the best opportunity to turn our fortunes around and really hopefully move us away. Like I said in my tweet, you might like him, you might not like Dean Smith. We've got to back this team now for the final 8 games of the season. And I feel, look, wouldn't it be Leicester to go Man City and get a win? Would it just be Leicester to go and do it on Saturday?
Well, listen, Tom, you don't know, and I'm going to go on to the fixtures that are coming up very soon, Tom, but there are 3 winnable games at home. There are 3 winnable games at home. There's 2 games away, which you can get a draw in easily. It is a mini league now, and like you said, I'm only speaking for myself because I'm only one part of Leicester Fan TV, but I'm wholehearted agree with what you just said, Tom. We back these 3 all the way to the hilt now. There's no dissent. There's no moaning. You just get on with it because we are in it together. If we lose 7-0 away at Man City, it doesn't matter. Just move on. It's the big games to come, Tom, isn't it?
Oh, exactly. And for me, we've lost a couple of games that we hopefully would have got something from, but we now have to look at it and go Wolves at home, Everton at home. They are 2 massive games. Liverpool don't look great at the moment. You'd hope you get something against them. And then, at the weekend, look at Leeds United. They were flying in the first half. Second half, just dropped off a cliff because Palace just had a go at them. We go there, do the same kind of thing. You've got to go at teams from now then. Like I said before the Villa and Bournemouth game, I'd hope that Shakespeare, Stowell and the other gaffer would have just said, take the shackles off, just go and play. We didn't. And I've got a feeling that Dean Smith will just say that now. Look, we'll set you up, but boys, just go out and have a go. We've got nothing to lose now by playing football. Don't be afraid to try something. If you lose the ball, get back in your shape. We've got to do so. Like I say, for me, in or out, it doesn't matter. There's 8 games to go. If you want this football club in the Premier League next season, the crowd has got to be like how it was at the start versus Bournemouth. A raucous atmosphere. Bring your balloons, bring your ticky tape. I don't care. Let's get the King Power flying when we're at home next few games.
But Tom, I 100% agree with you again. I think the fans were up for it on Saturday when it came off, but the players didn't look up for it. But I tell you what, with Dean Saunders, Shakey and John Terry in there, if they put in a lacklustre hot first 45 minutes like that again, I would expect them to walk into that changing rooms and get the biggest bollocking of their lives.
I completely agree.
And I don't think they've been getting that at all this season. I think it's been like, oh, good try, lads.
I think Rodgers had words. I don't think Sadler and I don't think Stow know what to do at that point on Saturday. You know, obviously it wasn't working, but I can't see them going in there throwing cups of tea around and calling players out and saying, what the fuck are you doing? You know, sort yourselves out and get going now. We've got 45 minutes. I think it would have been keep going. It'll come. No, if that kind of performance on Saturday happens with Dean Smith in charge, I can imagine going in there and someone getting the hairdryer treatment if they perform like that going forward. So look, for me, I'm not saying he's Jose Mourinho is a great tactician, but I think you'll see a man management, and I think you'll see a different team come out and having a go because he won't let his team go down with that fight.
Absolutely, Tom. I'm going to let you go so I can let others come on and get a comment.
Cheers,
Thanks
mate.
for joining us. Cheers, mate. Thanks to Tom. Let's get as many of your comments on there. And I know Tyre is still wanting to kick on. And Bick is. I'm going to share the link again. If you want to come on, we've still got time to get people on. So, Tyre, just bear with. We're going to get you on. I just want to get people's views before we do that on what's going on the screen here. Look, this is my battle plan. This is the escape plan. I think it isn't. I keep saying the words, it's not rocket science. This isn't rocket science. Man City, it's a free hit. I don't think we'll get much from it. Get the 3 new bosses in charge. Let's see. Just show us some fight at Man City. If you get a draw, if you get a win, hallelujah. We'll all believe. But listen, Man City, I don't mind. That's my take on it. The next one is Wolves at home. That's got to be 3 points. Yes, we can win that. Of course we can beat Wolves at home. Of course we can. Then it's Leeds away. Who knows? They got gumped yesterday by Crystal Palace. We could go and get a point there. Then we've got Everton at home. That's 3 points. If we want to stay up, that is 3 points. Fulham, they're in free fall. I think they've lost 4 on the spin. Mitrovic, gone. We can go to Fulham. Of course we can go to Fulham. Spirit of Ian Wilson at 81. We can do it. A point there, at least. Then Liverpool, who knows? Again, another free hit. We all remember that famous game. Who would bet against Jamie Vardy not doing something special against Liverpool? Could be points there. Who knows? Newcastle away. Heck, again, it doesn't really matter. Be nice to get a point. Nice to get something. Write it off if you want. I don't care about Newcastle away. Then it's West Ham at home. We can beat West Ham. They're not very good this season at all. We can beat them. That's 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, 1 point, 1 point. I reckon that's at least 11 points and pick up a couple of others. I genuinely think there's the escape plan. We can do it. But Foxes need to never quit. Like we say, that's what we need to bring back in. Hashtag Foxes never quit. And I genuinely think with Dean Smith, Shakey and John Terry in charge, that plan could absolutely work. Do you agree? Do you agree with my battle plan there or not? Hopefully we're safe before we go to Newcastle, Andy. I want to live in your world. I hope we are as well. Jamie Vardy hasn't scored since he's been through the scan. Yeah, I agree, Scott. But listen, I think we all know at some point Jamie Vardy is going to suddenly score and suddenly hit some form. And why would it not be now? Absolutely, why would it not be now? Somebody says spot on, thank you. Somebody says good plan. I agree with your plan, but only 50% says Imtiaz in the air. Let's put the cat amongst the pigeons, says Neil, and win games again. I know it would upset the title race. We can affect this. Joe says I'm happy with those 3 in there. Mick says he believes in there. Now listen, Tyler, I'm going to add you in now. You've been waiting patiently. Tyler, how are you?
I'm good.
What do you rate to what's your take on Dean Smith, John Terry, and Craig Shakespeare coming in?
Yeah, I think they'll do a good job with us, but I think even at Man City, I think we might be able to get in a point, but hopefully we can get out of this relegation zone with them.
I mean, Tyre, the reality is of Man City is that they're a team on fire. They're one, if not the best team in Europe. We shouldn't really have to. We're not expecting a lot from that, but it would be nice to see some fight and determination, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think it would be nice to see some fighters, even with like a hard team coming up this Saturday. But I think with Dean Smith, Shakey, with these three guys coming in, I think we will get out of relegation zone.
You're feeling a lot more confident now, then, Ty. You think we can do
Yeah.
it? Yep. Backing the lads all the way.
Yep.
Come what may, you'll be there till the end of the season.
Yep.
That's it, Ty. Thanks for joining us. Great for Ty to click in. There's still time if you want to click in and give us your views. Reedy's waiting in the background. Reedy, do just add yourself in if that announcement does come in. Although everybody is reporting it, all the media are reporting it. So as far as I'm concerned, it is done, which is why that's what we're talking about it. If the players are going to listen to anyone, surely it's going to be an ex-England, Chelsea, Premier and Champions League winning captain. Agreed. That's what I say. Listen, honestly, Nick, I agree with you. I wasn't enthused to start with, but when you look at it and you work it out, Dean Smith has been there and knows what he's on about. Craig Shakespeare knows Leicester City inside and out and back to front. And John Terry is one of the biggest winners in world football over the last 20 years. And we all know he loves. I want to see some John Terry passion in that football club on Saturday. Let's hope we can bring some of that in there. Lee's asking any news on Barnes. No, I don't have any news on Barnes, I must admit in there. Simon says, do you remember a win at Man City would be great, but seeing 11 players leaving everything on the pitch will be okay. Simon, 100% I'm with you. That's all I want to see on Saturday. I want to see that we have turned over a page and we are not just going to be rolled over and tickled on our tummies anymore, because you're sick of watching it. I'm sick of watching it. If we go down and we're losing, but we're giving it everything and we're trying our best, we'll all take that. That's what fans will take. What we won't take is what we saw on Saturday, which was people, and again, we haven't really talked about the match on Saturday because Reedy covered it off in the Aftermath show yesterday, trudging around the pitch. I'm not going to stand here tonight and moan about Saturday because I have wiped the slate clean with that team. It is a new start for me. I hope you guys are going to do the same. It's a new start. Can these save us? That's the question tonight. For me, yes. It's a massive roll of the dice. We wiped the slate clean. I don't want to talk about Sumari trudging around. I hope they'll come in and watch the performances and go, sorry, mate, you're not putting the Leicester shirt on, because bare minimum is having somebody leaving it all on the pitch. Bare minimum is not trudging around for 90 minutes. So for me, I hope they spot that. There, I said it. I said I wasn't going to, but I did. Smigster says, this is the best squad they've worked with. You never know. I agree in there. Tyler says, thanks for coming on. It was a pleasure, Tyler. Again, we put the links in there if ever anybody wants to come in there. I'm going to share it for one last time. We've still got time if somebody wants to come in there. Ronnie Barker, good evening, sir, says, hopefully this new team will show the lads how to get forward with an end product. Listen, they've got a winner in there with John Terry. Dean Smith, he knows the football of the Premier League. Craig Shakespeare knows Leicester City. He's been there, seen that, and done it with us all. I'm going to add Reedy back in just for the last couple of minutes, if you can. Reedy.
Hello.
You're back in. Last couple of minutes, Reedy. I think generally people are like, let's start again. Let's start this season again. I take it it's not officially been announced yet.
No, I think hopefully if in 1 minute, obviously when it hits 8 o'clock, it might be. But if not, then I don't think it'll be announced on live. But if it does go live and it does get announced some point in the night, then obviously let people know about it.
What did you think? I want your take on my battle plan. Let's see if I can get this screen set up right. There we are. Bloody hell, I know how to use technology. Reedy, talk me through my battle plan. Is it any good? Do you agree, disagree with them? Go through them one game by each.
Well, before I get into all of them, I did say to you before, like what Palace or even Brentford, that I was the positive one because I was saying that there's so many games we've got left to the end of the season where we could be easy picking points off. We've
Yeah,
not done it again.
that was before we lost to Palace, Villa, and Bournemouth.
No, and that's what I'm saying now, that
But-
it's gone to the point where these games are must wins. If you lose any of these now that you put wins, it just drops a percentage down of us actually going to get relegated. It's just not. We've got to be doing basically what you've said in this graphic, because, like you say, Newcastle, I'm not too sure we'll probably get any points from there. Man City, again, we've done it in the past to get points, but you've got to show a fight and you've got to be on point at every single second in the game. And then Liverpool, I was going to come back to the one, was it last year or the year before, where Lookman scored? And magic moments, they can
magic
happen.
moments. King Power, I think it's a Monday night game, isn't it, as well, that now, under the lights.
I think so, yeah.
Anything could happen against Liverpool. They've always been a team that bogey team back in the 80s, we were for them. Jamie Vardy scores that wonder goal. I think Slimani scored a great goal. Was that against Liverpool?
2-0.
My memory. Yeah. You know, why that? That's why I say remember that famous game. There's been a few, hasn't there? Wolves, Everton, West Ham. If you want to stay up.
Yeah, I don't want us to go to the final day. I want us to be, like I think someone said before, I want us to be safe before Newcastle or even Liverpool. And we can be if we get the points that you said we could. That is what, 3, 6, 8 points before we even get to the Liverpool game. If we can get even 6 points, that will automatically get us out of the bottom 3, which against the likes of Wolves and Everton already puts them back down into the bottom, and we go shooting up the table. So we just got to make sure we're not in them bottom 3 spots before the end of the season. And to be honest, everyone could still be in that role. That is the problem. Everyone could still be in that position by the end of the season.
I've got a question here for you, Reedy. I'm going to put it on there. Somebody has said, let's find it. I want to get the right person on. Somebody has said, effectively, if Dean Smith, Craig Shakespeare, and John Terry kept us up, would you back them for next season? And I'm going to answer that to start with. I can't find the comment. Yes, if they keep us up, I would totally give them the job for next season. That would be my take on it.
I would debate that depending on how well they do this at the end of the season. Again, it's all about getting the points, and even if it's poor performances, but we get the points, I would maybe say yes. But if we played really bad and we somehow stayed up, then probably not, because I want to see a better style of football. And if these have only just come in to get us, to keep us up, then, like I say, I've said it before, even with Jesse Marsh, as long as he keeps us up, maybe I just would say, yeah, fair play, you can have another season with us.
But Jesse Marsh didn't want to back himself.
No.
He didn't want to back himself, which is why I wouldn't want him, because he wanted a 3-year deal. And you go, well, so you're just, what if we go down? What, it doesn't no effect. These three, as far as we know, are in here for 8 games. And I hope they have been dangled the carrot that if you keep Leicester City up, you can carry on, because that is real gutsy to come in and say, all right, we'll take it on.
Yeah, that's completely fair. Like I say, you basically gave them the ultimatum saying, if you stay up, you stay with us. If you don't, then it looks like you're gone. Because I'm guessing if we do go down, then we would bring in a better replacement for a championship side. But if we do stay up, then you'd probably say it is in their contract or whatnot, saying that if we do stay up, then you've got another season with us.
Yeah, indeed. Reedy, I'm going to let you go. Thanks a lot for joining us. Do jump back in. I'm going to just carry on for a minute more. Thanks, Reedy, for his take on my battle plan, The Great Escape. Bick is in the back room. Bick, I can't see your camera on, so if you want to switch your camera on, I'll add you in. So Bick is waiting to come in, but I need to see your camera on so I can add you in. Okay, mate. Joe Wright says there, thanks, mate. Come on, guys. Let's back the lads now. Whether Dean Smith is your first choice, you've got to... Joe, 100%, you've got to give them your support. Bick, I'm going to add you in. Can you hear me, mate?
Yeah.
Brilliant. What's your take on the breaking news about Dean Smith?
I think it's going to have a positive impact on the lads, because looking at the previous 2 managers, they haven't really been encouraging the players. That's where that's led us onto the league. And like you see last season, we had a bit of passion. That's why we went on to the semi-finals. But now it's suddenly dropped. because none of the teams are coming together. It's suddenly dropped.
Vic, listen, mate. I like what you're saying. Sort your cameraman out. Come on, mate. Can't see your face. Have a
There you
word
go.
with him. There we go. That's
There
it.
you
Go on,
go.
carry on. What? Dean Smith, John Terry. Then John Terry's a winner, isn't he?
I think he is. Yeah, experience. Players like you'll have Johnny Evans. They will have a good relationship. Both have experience. But it depends because you have Soyuncu. He's a good player, and he didn't get the game time. Brendan Rodgers just slagged him off. Just took the mick out of him. Didn't play him. Why were Atletico Madrid interested in him? Because he's a good player. And I reckon if Evans and him start, it'll be a good relationship. But obviously, it depends what they want to play.
Vic, brilliant. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate your views. It's the end of the show almost now. So thanks to Vic. Thanks to everybody who's come on. Listen, somebody put a comment on saying, oh, it's always the usual faces. I put the link out there and we'll invite anybody who ever wants to come on this show and do it. Somebody's asked, where's Jamie, by the way? Chris says, where's Jamie? Not see. Jamie is running his pub, the Fox's Arms, out in Alcudia, Chris. He's busy. He's just opened it up. So if you fancy a cheeky pint in the sunshine, make sure you get over to the Fox's Arms. And that's where he is. He'll be back doing his Sunday morning shows in about 3 weeks. He just has a busy start to the season in there. Anybody thinks Cags might get a shout to start, says Tony? I'm not sure. I think that might just, who knows, fresh broom in there now. You wipe it all away. Johnny Evans has got to be close to coming back. I think I like Suter and I like Fies, but Johnny Evans, if we can get him fit, would be a big impact on us in there. Although not a Chelsea fan, John Terry is a football legend. I agree with you, Karen. Absolutely, he is in there. Scott said, can you get Jeff Peters on? We've had him on before. He's always welcome. Jeff Peters is in there. Last couple of comments in there. Scott says, I'm surprised Chris Wilder wasn't mentioned. He doesn't sugarcoat bad performance. It's a good shout, but I'm really, really okay in the end. I'm happy even at this because I feel like we've actually got something now to grab onto. I think Dean Smith, Shakey, John Terry, for me, going to back them all the way. We'd have backed Adam Sandler and Mike Stow, but they're coaches. I felt really sorry for them on Saturday. I was looking over. I just felt sorry for them. I think these three, you've got a manager, you've got a coach, you've got a motivator. It's exactly what we need. Thanks, everybody, for all your views, all your comments in there. James says, we've been crying out for someone like Shakey. I can't believe so many fans are against it. I don't think they are, James, and I'm not being funny. On Leicester Fan TV, I'm going to say we are backing them 100%. We've got an 8-game mini-league. It starts on Saturday against Man City. You know Leicester City just as well as me and you. Maybe we'll get something. But if we don't get something at Man City, I'd straight away be saying it doesn't matter because the big game is Wolves at home. You've got to turn up. I've got to turn up. If you can get down to the ground, amazing. If you're watching it elsewhere, cheer them on social media. Watch all the live shows that we'll be doing before, during, and after the games. Suddenly, I feel like up there. I feel like we've got a chance now. We have got a chance. I feel like we've got a chance. After Saturday, couldn't have been more lower. Couldn't have been more disappointed in Leicester side. Can't wait to see those three shake things up. Literally get shaking them up. Let's kick some butts. Let's get back to the Leicester that we were. Michael gets the last comment. Michael Burkside, put some money on a win this weekend. Michael, you just never know. You wouldn't bet against it, would you? A lot more enthusiastic with Shakey than if it was just Smith and Terry. I agree with you, Jason, in there. It's a nice touch that all three are in there. I'm going to go and collapse now. Listen, it's always fun watching Leicester City. I'm going to ask Reedy one last time. Has it been confirmed or not? Reedy's given me. I'm going to put him on. Look, here he is. Reedy is doing this. Is it confirmed?
It is not, no.
It's not confirmed on the official website, but it is.
But I will say, from Michael's comment, it's 12-1 for Leicester to win. So put it on.
12-1. I'll be more than happy with a draw, Reedy. Thanks again, mate. We'll let Reedy go. Listen, thanks for all your views, all your comments tonight. We can't do Leicester Fan TV without your views. We are just fans. You know that. I'm just a fan. I pay my money. I pay for my season tickets. Pay for my lads' season tickets. It costs us a fortune to buy shirts, tops, everything like that. So a massive thanks to the guys from these businesses. They're all local businesses who just chuck us a few pence here and there. We help them out. They help us out. It helps buy equipment, helps do all this for free. So thanks to these, and thanks to every single Leicester City fan. We can do it. Great Escape 2.0 2023 edition. Hashtag Foxes never quit. That's the one that needs to come back. Foxes never quit. All right.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everard's, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie & Co. Estate Agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.